I really wanted Cooking 5 before we headed into the far territory, but here we are. I have a small library in my backpack, and I'm not kidding. I have a small library in my backpack. So I'm just going to quickly read some of these, and we are going to get underway. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more of The Long Dark in our Against All Odds series. I am going to drink some water. We're going to eat a rosehip pie, although those do give me more energy. Yeah, okay. So I don't necessarily want to eat those first and foremost. Tell you what, let's just go ahead and get some reading done. I think getting some revolver skill, since we can read the 2 books that we have, would probably be one of the handiest things to do. So we're going to drop that. Our bedroll is on the ground. We'll pick that up for now. I'm going to read, drink a little bit more water. I'm hoping for an Aurora so that we can keep reading during the middle of the night. Once we hit morning, again, hopefully with an Aurora overnight, we will head back down to the maintenance shed. And on top of that, oh, hold on. Just realized we weren't ducking. There we go. Once we head down there, we can head across into the far territory, and then wherever I feel like heading. I've got a couple of thoughts on where I might go first. I've said the Forsaken Airfield, but I'm open to other possibilities. So far, there's not an Aurora, which is kind of rude. So what I'll do is, since I don't have really much to do at the moment, I'll just sleep for an hour. Just trying to coax the Aurora out if it's going to appear. We do have maximum Aurora settings. So you would think at some point there's a pretty good likelihood that we'll get an Aurora during the night, but no guarantees. It does sound like there's some pretty difficult weather outside at the moment, so that could be creating problems. Let's go ahead and eat one of these carrots. Oddly enough, we are going to leave this space. I mean, I suppose... Hold on. There's still some flour on the ground. How much flour is there? 0.33 pounds of flour. Cooking oil. Let's try something. Well, I can't cook right now. Really? I can't even open the cooking interface? Okay, whatever. I was just going to look at recipes, although I suppose I can look at them here, can't I? Where are the recipes listed? Cooking, here we go. Sorry, there's a whole tab for it. Okay. Alright, yeah, we literally can't cook anything else. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't be the case, but it looks like we are so low on flour that there's not really an option left. So, let's sleep a little bit longer, I suppose. Game's not giving me much of a choice. I'll go ahead and sleep for 2 hours, with the hope being that I wake up to some noises, but nope. So, what we'll have to do is just pass time. The good thing about passing time is that I can back out of it at any point if the noises start. No such luck, though. That is unfortunate. So I can sleep for another couple of hours. We're burning through some calories, but there's food sources just outside. Might have to kill some wolves in order to deal with it. We're going to start heading for the far territory, but because of our food situation, we don't have a lot. I'm not going to rush too quickly. I'm kind of annoyed that there's not an Aurora popping right now, because it would be very, very convenient for me if one did. And of all nights, not to have any Aurora at all. Okay. It's cool. Thanks for that. That's real helpful. All right, sun's coming up, so I can read that other book and be done with it. These rosehip pies don't last particularly long. It's worth kind of noting that. They do have pretty high caloric value, which is nice. Giving me one heck of a headache. Okay. Yeah, we're good to go. So let's go ahead and read this. I can drop the book on the ground. Okay, getting pretty thirsty, as expected. Let's drink some water. We are now much less encumbered than we would have been a moment ago. So let's drop that on the ground. Yeah, we're barely encumbered, in fact. All right. The weather doesn't sound awful.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah, it's actually very clear. So there's a prop deer out there, but there are also not prop wolves, which is to say actual wolves. There are normally 2 that I've seen. As I mentioned, there may be even more, but the main thing I want to do is just clear these wolves so that I can get the cattails. We got some additional rifle rounds not long ago, so that's going to be helpful with this. There's his buddy. Okay. Oh, wow. That was horrible timing. I was about to line up that shot, and then he just dipped down into nothingness. Okay, hold on. We can get a little closer. He might actually be coming close to me, so I need to be careful. He could be walking right toward me. This is not ideal terrain for dealing with a wolf. Yeah, one of them's coming toward me, the other one's walking away. Okay. The brush and the, like, tiny slopes of ice right in front of me are perfectly occluding this wolf. And oh, there it is. Hold on. It's actually over there. Did I completely miss? I don't think I even hit him. How is that? What's this? Didn't I clean this rifle? What is happening? Where are rifles even? I swear, it's right here. 88%. How is that? I don't think I even hit him. What is going on with this rifle? Thank you. Vindication. All right, that's 1. Need to be careful because I'm going to get cold soon and I won't be able to get these shots lined up as well. Once the rifle skill is a little bit higher, that'll be less of a problem, but it really does feel like early against all odds rifle shooting again, with Barb's rifle specifically, because of there's just something about the way the sight is shaped. I don't know if it just puts my head back in that space of aiming with the old rifle before they redid the way the sights look. But it's the same feeling of like, how did I miss, that I haven't dealt with in a long time. Let's see. All right. Only one wasted shot. I'll take it. Now, there are a couple of prop carcasses out here. Now, in theory, if I really wanted to push for cooking 5, I could now do it, like, without question. There'd be no problem at all. All right, we're going to use the hacksaw because this is completely frozen. Except for the ear, apparently. Did you notice that? All right, there's hypothermia risk. We need to get inside. All right, now if there's another wolf out here, I'm about to find out.
If I don't warm up soon.
Also, hang on. If there's another wolf out here, I'm about to find out. Immediately turns in the direction of where the other wolf would be if it were here. Great job, Adrian. Great job. Okay, yeah. Wanted to grab these real quick. Oh. Just the 2? Okay, oh yeah, that's right, on this. When we're on this particular baseline setting, which is Loper, We're not playing on Interloper. This is a custom code, obviously, but we're using the same baseline setting as Loper. There are only 2 acorn piles underneath every tree. Or possibilities for acorn piles, I should say.
I can carry much more.
That's because you can't. Okay, let's not leave our cooking pot laying around there. Although I could probably use the skillet. Let's grab that. Place the skillet there. Okay, now I do need a little bit more wood if I'm going to make this happen. So, chop this up. And that should be good for the meat that I've got. Wood matches.
Oh, I'm starving.
Working on it, Jen. Give me a second. I meant Jennifer. Working on it, Jennifer. Add fuel. Cook. And cook. And actually, what I can do while those are cooking is prepare some additional acorns right here. Thought I had more than that, but I guess not. I guess I cooked them all previously. All right, 20, that's got about 20 minutes. So let's go outside and see if there's anything I can do. At the very least, I can look for some cattails. Now that the wolves have been dealt with, there are probably cattails to be harvested. So let's have a look. They're not going to be too many, but I will take any that I can find. Please and thanks. Unless, of course, there are none. I could have sworn there are cattails on this pond, but I guess there aren't. Because I don't see any. Yeah, I really thought there were, but I suppose not. Okay. Well, let's use the knife here to go ahead and get these 4 pounds of wolf meat. I very much doubt I'm actually going to eat this, but here's the thing. I can cook this, and it'll give me cooking skill. Damn it. The game robbed me of cooking 5. So I can use this wolf meat to push back against that a little bit. Yeah, I do not see any cattails at all. Maybe I picked them already, but I mean, I wouldn't have because of the wolves. So I just don't think they're here. I think maybe there's some cattails over there across that tree bridge that you can check, which we probably will before we leave this area. It's the one area up here. Well, there's actually a couple areas that I haven't visited yet. Come on, let me up. Thank you. I'm so stoked to get to the Far Territory because not only are they big and loot dense in some cases and just interesting maps, but they're also some of the newest and least explored territories for us. So it's one of the reasons we wanted to go there first. All right, let's go ahead and cook this gamey wolf meat. Again, we're not going to eat it. If we eat it, we'll eat one of them. Although I just don't really see any reason to tempt fate. All right, we have 2 hours on the fire. Let's go ahead and put a bunch of water there. Okay, 49 minutes for 3 pieces. What about here? 39 minutes for 6 pieces. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that's cooked. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, dropped that. We can add a bit more fuel. Now, how close to cooking 5 are we? Exactly. Yeah, still lots of cooking we would need to do in order to actually get that far. But we can prepare these acorns. Chow down on those. I'm honestly surprised I don't have Like, that deer meat didn't do as much for me as you would have thought. But I'm still glad I cooked it. Okay. Well, we're pretty much done. We're going to wait for this water, but then we're going to head out. It's going to be pretty well timed. I do need to eat some of these because they're not going to last much longer. Yeah, I think we're actually in a pretty good spot. Let's pick that up. I just put all that extra wood on the fire. We're not going to worry about it. Pass time. Drink that. We have a bit of encumbrance again. We will not forget our cooking pot. Thank you very much. Or our bedroll for that matter. Looks like we've already got it. Yes, we do. Okay, let's get going. And of course I have more rosehip pies to eat on the way down. Okay, it looks like the weather is trending in the suboptimal direction, so we are going to move as quickly as we can. Oh wow, yeah, it's trending rapidly in the suboptimal direction. Okay. We might not be heading out. I mean, we're going to head down to the maintenance shed. For sure. We can make it back there. But we might not be heading much farther if this turns to bad weather sooner than later. Okay, so first things first, we're going to come up here. Being mindful of the fact that I still am not 100% certain there are not wolves around. So we could run into that difficulty. Yep, okay, there's another crop deer. Same spot where it used to be, interestingly enough. There's some reishi mushrooms, which I will grab, because why not? Then there's a cave back here that I can check. And if there are cattails back here, I guess we're about to find out. There is a bear at the base of the cliff that I'll have to be careful about when I head back down. And I didn't run into any wolves. I heard them, but I didn't see them. We'll have to be careful of that as well. Okay, any cattails down there? Let's take a look real quick. No. None that I can see. Okay, let's just go to the cave. Because the cave might still have something for us. And I am tempted to go back around that way. But I don't think it's necessarily prudent given the weather. If we got stuck up there, it would be a much more complicated, like almost unnecessarily complicated path. What the heck? Oh, it's a body. There was just a weird bloom effect around it. Interesting. Here's some firewood, which it's fir firewood, so I'll grab that. Oh, that sucks. So you froze to death back here right as you brought back a bunch of very high quality firewood. My condolences. Rest in peace. Okay, so remember, those rosehip pies give you a little bit of energy. So they're growing on me. They are. The headache is a little bit weird, but as I've said before, it's not an actual negative, unless you just really don't like the chromatic aberration effect that occurs on the edges of the monitor, which that's what that's called, by the way. Chromatic aberration. Lots of games use it nowadays. Sometimes, like, you'll see it in the settings for Phasmophobia, for example, and you're like, what's chromatic aberration? That. Hold up. That. That's chromatic aberration. And it's usually designed to only affect the edges of the screen. I think that's part of the definition of it, in fact. But anyway, that's what it's called. So a little bit cold. I'm going to grab this stick just to have something to start a fire with a little bit more easily. Again, if I had been Hinterland, I totally would have put a wolf on this path. I think that would have been at least maybe not a wolf that's like exclusive to this
I
path,
hate being
but that
cold.
has part of
Does it really do?
Jennifer. I'm talking. Like part of its patrol route would, you know, kind of land on this path and go along it for a bit. That would be, I think, an interesting place to put one of the new predators. But apparently, no one at Hinterland agreed, or at least that spawn is not present in this save file. See, that's the other thing. We're gonna have to find out over multiple runs where there can be wolves and where there can't. It's all new. If you happen to be hearing me say that and you haven't watched the earlier series and heard me say it a bajillion times previously, that's one of the main features of the most recent update to The Long Dark is that all of the wildlife was, in fact, reset. So the places where we are accustomed to running into bears or wolves or rabbits, they will not necessarily be bears or wolves or rabbits in those places anymore, which is interesting. All right, so there's a wolf right there. I know there are cattails on this little stretch. Maybe not back here, but like I know there are cattails out here on the lake. So what I'm going to do is just quickly check for some back here. I can't remember if there are some all the way back here, but I want to at least verify. Doesn't seem like it. No. I don't have all the time in the world because we are, in fact, slowly succumbing to hypothermia risk. Okay, let's head this way and hopefully not piss off any wolves. All right, so there's a wolf ahead of me and to the left. And then there's that wolf that was on the ice just now. So the bridge is still to my right. Haven't reached. There are your footsteps. That's a bunny. Hello, bunny. Yeah, it's a bunny. It's a bunny. Okay. I don't see any wolves in the trees back here, so what I'm going to do is just kind of beeline straight this way. To get back to the maintenance shed as soon as possible, I would like to lose minimal condition. If I can manage it. I see some rose hips, which I'm tempted to grab. Yep, I will grab those actually. A little bit risky because I still don't know exactly where the wolves are, and I said there was one ahead of me and to the left. I'm pretty much walking straight in that direction. So I'm not sure where the wolf is exactly. There also were not wolves at the shed when I got there, which is super weird. All right, hold on. I think I might have just seen one to my left. That could very easily have been a stump as well. Okay, not seeing any here. Yeah, I think we're good. It could be that the one that I dropped at the top of the hill, the one that got right up on me and had to fire 2 shots, had a patrol route that would have been all the way up and down and taken them into the area of the maintenance shed. Either that or I'm just not seeing a wolf and I'm about to get jumped, which is possible. It's conceivable. Back door.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Perfect. Okay. So let's just quickly review what we have back here. We do have this climbing rope that I'm not going to take. It's not worth it. And it's kind of perfect timing to sleep for the night. Now maybe we'll get an Aurora, which would be very nice of the game to do for me. No guarantees, obviously, but it would be nice. Let's go ahead and break up this stick. We can refuel our lantern as well. Perfect. And let's go ahead. Sleep for 6 hours. Come on. I want to wake up to lights. No. No such luck, unfortunately. I'm going to try to... Well, no, I can't really afford to. I need to eat these rosehip pies now, because I might not have another opportunity. They're degrading quickly. Seems like you pretty much have to eat those as fast as you possibly can. Alright, let's go ahead and pass time for like 3 hours. Come on. You know you want to give me an Aurora. You know you want to help me out. No, apparently you don't. Okay, cool. Great. Perfect. Alright, we're going to sleep for 2. And then hopefully... Yeah, I need to just stop saying things out loud. The game hears me and says, I'm going to do the opposite of what you want me to do. That's how it works. Also, oh yeah, that's right. I grabbed this for firewood. So, I mean, if I wanted to make water for the road, or if I wanted to cook, I mean, I don't really have a lot that I could cook right now, but if I wanted to. I actually don't have a lot of food. I'm not thrilled about that. I've got the sardines. Which I suppose I could eat if you really wanted me to. I was recently trolled in our Discord community for carrying those sardines with me this whole time. Sardines are one of the few food items that can give you food poisoning at higher condition. I don't know what the upper limit of that is, but I'm not super eager to find out, you know? I'm not. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, it is morning. It is early morning, so it's going to be cold. Let me double check the microwave. Nothing in it. Okay, we're going to get going.
And this pack is getting kind of heavy. Thank goodness. Made it through another night.
Oh, interesting. First of all, there's a wolf. How did that miss? How did that miss? How did that miss? Thank you. Yes, I'm going to ask the question 3 times. I mean, maybe there's like a slope hidden in the grass there, and what looked like it was perfectly lined up on the wolf's head was not. But holy crap. Alright, the wolf is behind me now. So there are wolves that hang out in this yard. I just happened to miss them. Oh man, that would have been a perfectly timed shot. Thank you. Now, if I wanted to be super cheesy, I could take these 2 fresh wolf kills. Oh wait, there's another one. Hi. Bye. Well, the wolves finally decided to show up. My god. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Watch there be a 4th. It's like a small pack of wolves just hanging out. But they're all right here. So here's the thing. I could do something really interesting right now. Hold on. Here's one. Let's go ahead and... Oh wow, it's going to take an hour to harvest that. I didn't think it was going to take an hour. Yeah, the guts. Doing everything at once. Alright. Let's just take the hide then. Alright, starting to get pretty testy weather-wise. Now, I think this counts as an interior space. It does. It's not warm enough, though, so we're going to go inside and warm up for a bit before I skin another wolf. Hopefully it warms up a little before I leave. That would be nice if it did. I don't want to eat wolf meat. There is a propped deer out back that I now feel pretty safe going and getting the meat from, so I might do that. But first I would like to go ahead and grab these hides while I can. And just have the wolf hides curing here, because eventually we're going to come back. And if I don't already have wolf hide clothing from other means, and if I need it, then we can get it via these means. Okay. Once again, gonna need to go back. Whoa, hello. Game overview. Stop. Oh, I hit Shift Tab. I thought the Steam overlay was turned off. Rude. Alright, I'll have to make sure that didn't display in the recording. It shouldn't have, but we'll check later. Alright, let's grab the shell casing. Drop that in the ground and go back inside. Oh, nice. We're actually warming up a little bit when we're inside that space. That's good to know. Now, if I sleep for an hour, I'll warm up a little bit more. Yeah, plenty warm now. Starting to get pretty hungry, though, which it's not an ideal situation for heading into the far territory. This hungry. Okay, so there were 3 wolves. There's the 3rd. Alright. Doesn't look like we're going to be in the cold for quite as long this time. It's closer to noon, so that's handy. There, now we can have these curing. Side by side. Beautiful.
I can't feel my feet.
Now what I'm going to do, since I need food, let's sleep for an hour, and I'm just going to hope that a storm doesn't start, because that would be horrible timing right now. And we're going to go visit that prop deer out back.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
Okay, I'm pretty confident there's not going to be another wolf in the area, but that confidence just comes from probability and assumption. So, not the strongest of grounds for 100% confidence. I just want to see if I can find the prop deer. It wasn't too far, was it? I didn't think it was this far away, but maybe it was. Maybe it was more back here. Yeah, I think it was, actually. Hold on. Stand up high and spot it. Oh, is that a... No, it's a deer. Okay, it looked black for a second. Okay, nice. That's not a ton of meat, And we're going to, unfortunately... Oh, I should have used the... Hold on. Now we're going to use the hacksaw. Much better. My mistake. Alright, now I just need to be mindful of the fact that this will make me attract any nearby friends who might be feeling hungry. I actually just think I heard something behind me. But it might have just been a wolf up on top of the ridge getting a rabbit. Which is entirely possible.
Think about his food.
That's why we have food, Jennifer. Don't have a ton of rifle rounds left. Did waste a few. In today's episode, but we also didn't waste some of our shots, which is nice.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay. All set. Let's go ahead and cook it while we're here. It's not a lot of meat. It's not going to give me a lot of comfort at all, to tell you the truth. Tell you what, let's just pick up the book. And we will break this down over 39 minutes. Hypothermia risk will heal. We're going to need to eat a couple of cattails to stave off hunger. Thankfully, there are plenty of cattails in the transition zone, but I have to get all the way there first, which, you know, easier said than done. So we could be doing some hunting and cooking along the way. But that's what we want. That's why we're going out to the far territory. We have some gear. We're feeling prepared. Now we can start. It's almost like now we can start playing the Long Dark properly. You know what I mean? That feels that way. Okay, let's go ahead and put this down. I'm going to cook the... Let's go ahead and cook the smaller of the two first. We're going to eat that. Much better. And how much water do I have? Yeah, we're going to use this fire to get some water as well. Pass time until ready. 960 calories, that is much better. Now we will do this. Now one thing I can definitely do and not feel bad about it is I can read an hour of this archery book. You can read a couple of hours, in fact. Yep, let's do one more. Okay, we can drink that, and now we'll have a lot more water. And what I'm gonna do... Yeah, we've got 2 hours read on this. We can read 3 more, and I think I will do that before I end the episode here. We can drop that archery book. Ooh, we might not get all 3 cross fingers. Oh, I think we will, actually. Perfect. That came in clutch. All right, let's go ahead and drop that. Don't need it. Also, I don't think I used that book that I picked up, did I? Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I think I did. Yeah, totally did. All right, we're good. Let's now drink some water and then sleep. We're going to wake up in the middle of the night. If it gives me... If we wake up to an Aurora, I swear to God. This game is a troll. Like, oh, and there's this water too that I totally have just sitting all over the place. It doesn't get better. It's just so trolly. It's so trolly. We're gonna stop here. In the next one, we will head into the far territory at long last. Which zone we go to first, I'll make up my mind as I go. I have a couple of ideas. I'm leaning towards one of the 3, or like 2 of the 3 as starter zones, but it really, we'll just kind of I'm going to play it by ear. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along for early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges. Look for the join button. New episodes drop every other day at 1 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and comments are always welcome, so leave your thoughts below, and I'll see you next time.